we're here with Jack Hanks. My name is Stephanie Pouse. I'm one of the co-founders for Brahma Roofing and Construction, and we're working with local homeowners right in our backyard. We're based in Colorado to be able to help them find some relief after the Marshall Fire. So today we're going to be focusing on some frequently asked questions that we're getting and just some really helpful information that we think will be able to assist you guys in navigating what that looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and let Jack introduce himself and how he plays into this equation.
Hi guys, Jack Hanks. I'm a licensed public adjuster in 38 states, including Colorado. I am the CEO and founder of Velocity Public Adjusting. I've been doing insurance restoration and specifically fire claims since 1989. So we have a great handle on this, and we want to answer all your questions and get you guys the proper help y'all need. So I appreciate being invited on this podcast. We're ready to answer some questions. So let's go.
So another topic that I like to be able to help people understand is where and why resources are so important to them. So why having a team like you and Brahma Roofing and Construction is so important for these homeowners, and why us working together, having a working relationship is so important to their process as well. Because that's something that I think a lot of people miss, is how the cohesiveness between teams is important. So if you can talk a little bit about why teams like ours are so important and how that can make a big difference for them in their entire claims experience.
So what happens is every insurance company has their own team of experts. They have their own restoration guy, their own environmentalist, their own engineering firm, their own housing people, their own everything, right? And they're controlled by the insurance companies, because if I'm an engineer and I get 50 reports paid for every month by the insurance carrier, logically, I'm going to lean towards them when I have to make a decision on if something's burned or not. If it's gray, I'm probably going to lean towards them because they're the ones paying me, number one, and number two, it's consistent workflow for them. And if I don't do what I'm asked, I'm probably not going to be on their vendor list anymore. So I have to feed my family, so I'm going to do what I can to protect them. That's not how it's supposed to work. So hiring a firm like Velocity or any other public adjusting firm worth its weight, we have our own team of friends. I have the best engineering firm in the country on my team. I have forensic engineers. I have forensic accountants. I have building consultants. I have great contractors like you guys involved. So we're the team. And the cool part about that, there's no cost to you guys. It's all part of the fee that we incur, that we use insurance proceeds to pay ourselves and pay our team. So our job is to come in there. I'm going to bring independent firms that have your best interest at heart to find how much soot is in his homes. I don't know. It's all about science. So I'm going to bring in my environmentalist, who I've known for 30 years, who does it right. And ironically, when we get these reports from the insurance carrier, engineer reports are 2 pages long. It's very, very generic, copy and pasted, no thought behind it, rubber stamped and gone. My engineer, who I use, come in with 30, 40, 50 pages of facts from the property that we investigated for several days to get the facts right and present to the carrier. Now, worst case scenario, this ever went to court, God forbid, which does happen every 100 claims, 1 out of 100 is going to go to court. If we present to a jury a 2-page engineering report with incorrect facts, the wrong address, copy and pasted material, or I bring a 70-page fully documented engineer report that's time-stamped and signed off and looks professional, who's the jury going to believe, right? It's all about setting the claims up for success and having the right people involved from the get-go to make sure so having an insurance claim, honestly, it sucks, especially when your home is on the ground. I'm not going to kid you. It's heart-wrenching and it's emotional and it sucks. So why make it suck more by don't let the insurance company run the show. It's having a team behind you guys that it means something to. And this is how we earn a living. This is all I've ever done. I'm 55 years old. I started doing this when I was 23 years old. This is all we've ever done. So having a house fire, it's not like having your roof blown off from a hailstorm or a windstorm. You've lost photos. You've lost your wedding dress. You've lost your ribbons from high school, your
Some
yearbook.
people horrifically lost their animals. I mean, there's devastation. Yeah.
So once again, this is a very, very highly emotional state that you guys are in. And it's sad. And like we talked about in the beginning, is you get one shot to do this, man. And you can literally, it can be, the whole idea is to come out whole and to come out the other side and have a good attitude, get this thing done. I've seen a lot of people not get proper representation in the beginning through hurricanes and through fires, and their lives are never the same because you lose $200,000-$300,000. Not many people, families. I know I couldn't. I'm sure
Yeah.
you can't come out from that. So it's a spiral of stuff that goes on. You gotta.
Well, people struggle enough in credit card debt, right? I mean, you're talking about credit card debt of, let's just say $10,000, or even student loans. That's another one. Student loans are a big one, where people are like, I have student loans. You're paying off student loans for how long? And now you're adding to that hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt that you're not getting out of. I mean, that changes people's trajectory, the trajectory of their entire lives.
Well, that's just it. It can be it should be. It shouldn't devastate your life. It's going to change your life, right? Mm-hmm. But once again, in a year or two, you should be whole. You should be okay, and you're gonna have some battle scars, right? It's all part of it. But at the same time, you should be able to laugh about it, move into your brand new home that you guys just finished with all brand new stuff, and recreate those new memories. But if it's mishandled from day one, and an environmental report is incorrect, or an engineer report is incorrect, or the claim is underpaid, you never get a chance to make that up. And I mean, 15, 25, 40, 50, $100,000 difference is life-changing for a lot of people. And it shouldn't be, but that's the reality of it all, because it is. And it's sad, but it's the facts.
So the biggest thing here for, why it's so important to be able to have your own team is, again, I know we've said it, and I'm like a broken record, but representation is you are getting adequate representation to be able to make sure that you are working with people who have your best interest in mind. As a final question to kind of wrap us up, because I know that everyone's probably thinking it and they're like, hey, Jack and Stephanie, I mean, this all sounds great. I love the idea of adequate representation. I mean, I need this. This sounds like something I should do. No brainer, right? Can we talk a little bit about what the compensation model looks like when people bring on a third-party public adjuster? Because that's something that we're talking about, all of this loss. We're talking about getting in the hole. What does that look like for them to be able to have, the best of the best on their team?
So the cool part about this is our contracts are contingency based. So I collect no upfront money. Basically what I tell the clients, you will never write me a check unless there's an insurance check right behind it. So we only get, our fee is 10%. So whatever money I can collect from the carrier on your structure, on your contents, we get a fee of 10% on. Now you're going to say, oh my God, that's going to be a lot of money. Well, guess what? We usually end up collecting 75, 85, 100% more than the carrier was offering initially anyway. So I know it sounds too good to be true, but it's because we do a damn good job of what we do and worth every penny of it. So, and keep in mind, we're only paid as money comes in. So if you get a first check of $100,000, I'm taking our 10% out of that. I give you the 90 to start the process. And we're going to guide you to make sure you're not misspending that money. Because a lot of companies want to start cleaning everything, and all they're doing is they're taking money out of your policy, because we know damn well that wall's not going to be clean. It's going to be tore out. Yes. So why waste the money to be cleaned? So that's the kind of stuff we look out for. Our job is to allocate you the money and spend it properly, so you're not wasting time, money, energy, and buying things twice. It makes no sense. A lot of these companies want to come in, for instance, and they want to dry clean a t-shirt for $12. Well, t-shirts cost $15. So why the heck would you spend $12 when you can buy a brand new one for a couple bucks more, right? That's the kind of stuff we want to talk about with these consumers. Same thing with TVs anymore. They're almost disposable, right? You can go to Best Buy and buy a beautiful TV for $600. A lot of companies want to come in and do cleaning on testing and spend $300-$400 on testing a TV, where the new damn TV is just as much as getting it cleaned. So logically, that doesn't make any sense. So our job is to kind of navigate through that and make good business decisions with our consumers to make sure they're spending their money properly, because insurance companies are they're just going through paper and getting things done. There's no thought behind it, right?
Well, and how many people are used to getting a $100,000 check written to them? We're also talking about some financial management in a sense. Yes. So I think that's a big thing too so as a recap, everything that we've talked about, which we'll be releasing these in sections, but everything that we've talked about is based off of that contingency on Jack's side. And then we work directly with Jack and his team in regards to what our costs would look like for the actual building, which is, a very different process.
I incur, and if I need to bring experts in, like my soot guy and my engineer, I incur those costs, right? So I'm gonna prepay that on your behalf, and I'll collect that as money comes in. So the cool part about what we do is there's no money out of your pocket or out of the consumer's pocket. I'm going to bring the best of the best of the best team with us, and you're going to get A1 service, and there's no cost. And you're going to, oh, it's too good to be true. Well, because it kind of is, because nobody really knows what a PA does, right? Nobody's ever heard of what a public adjuster is, so they need us. So it's a very hidden gem in the industry. We're damn good at it. We have good people like you guys involved to get these things done properly. And once again, a contingency contract is pay is paid. If we don't collect a nickel and I spend $100,000, I don't get any money. That's on us. So that means we didn't do the claim properly. So that's what we do.
That's the big part too that I also want to emphasize is it's not 10% of what you would have gotten normally. It's 10% of what your team is able to get you, which is upwards of 70+% of what you would have actually gotten. So you're talking, I mean, significant increases in what your coverage is because you have adequate representation. So I think that's really important to note too, because some people are like, well, I can't afford to be able to put anything else out there. And that's not what we're not suggesting that to you. We're just suggesting that you get the right team because they'll be able to help you once that is collected.
And I want to emphasize too, we're not here to look into add to the claim or throw stuff against the wall to make it stick, right? Our whole job is to get the claim correct and get it right. If you have something that's worth $10, I can get you $10 for it. I can't get you 20. That's a big fallacy involved. A lot of our competitors want to go in here and promise you the world. That's not how it works. Insurance companies are sophisticated and smart. They know exactly what that thing costs. But you got to get them to that point, right? They're going to offer you 4. Our job is to get you full value. And the cool part is we have companies like you guys we work with that you'll do the work for the net proceeds after we're paid. So they're still not, they don't have to get the $100,000 and then pay $10,000 out of their pocket to get you hired. You can get the work done for the 90,000 after my fee is incurred. So it's a big win for everybody because that 90,000 actually would have been 50,000 without us. So everybody's a winner at this point. So a good positive outcome is when the insured's made whole. You guys do a great project and you're profitable, and my team collects our fee and we make a bit of a profit out of it as well. Profit's not a dirty word in my world, nor does it should be in yours. We work really hard to do the right thing, and our profitability allows us to do the right thing on these claims and look out for the best. We're not scrambling for dollars and nickels. We're doing the claim correctly, and we're doing it very diligently, and that's how it's supposed to work.
Well, I think the big thing that we've talked about a lot too is these homeowners, although they've experienced such devastation, are entering into business transactions. Yeah. And that's what it is right now you're in the restoration world now. And so you are operating from a business standpoint in restoration. And so the biggest thing so that you don't make mistakes that we've made over the years is being able to work with teams that have good people on their team, that know what they're doing, that can come in and make sure that you are just adequately represented. So I would just say that if you have any questions for us, we covered quite a bit of information throughout this. If you have any questions, let us know. We're more than happy to be a resource for you. We will go ahead and post all of our information so that you have it, and then do a few outros here in a few minutes.
Anyway, hey, thanks for having me on today. It's very important. I can't stress enough the importance of getting these fire claims handled properly up front. I've seen many, many families and businesses never recover, and it's sad. You guys have a great opportunity to do it right, get the right people involved. We're ready to roll. My phone number is 480-766-6565. It's on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We have an office up in Westminster. We're ready to handle these claims and help you guys. If you want to send me the policy for a free review, my team will be glad to read that thing and give you the nooks and crannies of that thing. No cost whatsoever. It's all about doing the right thing for the community and getting you guys happy and healthy and getting you guys moved back home.
Yeah, I second everything that Jack said. I think that that's really important just to recognize that, especially over here at Brahma Roofing and Construction, you guys are right in our backyard. We're up in the Windsor, Fort Collins area. And so for us, it's really focusing on being able to make sure that we do right by our community. And we just want to make sure that we're able to be a really positive educational resource for you. And this is why we've put together this, conversation with Jack to be able to just make sure that we're getting you really real information that you can take away. You have some tangible stuff to walk away with, some really clear next steps. So if you have any questions about this, feel free to give us a call. Brahma Roofing Construction, we'll make sure that we'll be able to get your questions answered for you. Like I said, we're happy to be a resource. So sending you all well wishes. And if you need anything, both Jack and our team are here.